Hello and welcome to this edition of The Verified with me, Mustafa Kedab. Today I have two guests. One is returning. Both of them actually are returning because I've had Suwaibou Touray, National Assembly member for Wuli East, and also now the leader of the PDOIS. I mean, it's quite a transformation, quite a change. Honorable Suwaibou, welcome to The Verified.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good.
Yes,
And I have also Mr. Biran Gai. Biran, I always call him Biran Gai. And so, welcome, Biran. This is your fifth time, maybe?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, you've been a frequent appearance.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me once again.
Beautiful. Today on the conversation, we'll begin with the PDOIS. I mean, changes have happened at the helm of the party. Honorable Halifa Sallah, who's been there for several years. I mean, PDOIS has existed for about 40 years now.
yes.
You just celebrated your 40-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, how has this transition been and how is it going on? Because, of course, transition, even at this level, will have to go for some time,
Yeah.
I would imagine. How is that transition going on?
Yes, thank you. I think that's a very important question. As we know, transition is not easy. And this is an election year.
Yeah.
And that makes it even more difficult.
Yes. Yes.
So what has happened is that we had our Congress on the 24th of January, 2026. And the Congress had made some amendments, made some adjustments, and made some recommendations. And then the Center Committee was supposed to look at all those recommendations. And then out of those resolutions, we'll be able to come up with, it's like different steps to get to where we want to go to. So we are working on our constitution because, like we said, the transition will require some changes. And then it, of course, require a constitutional change as well. So those proposals were done at the Congress, and then the Congress endorsed the proposed amendments. And then after the Congress, there was a team that was to work on that constitution, that draft constitution now, to clean it. And once it is clean, yeah, it is already clean. And then the Center Committee was supposed to adopt it. So the Center Committee has met, and we have adopted that new constitution. So now we are working on a new constitution, which has a lot of amendments from the last. Now, we are voted into office for 4 years. And that 4 years, we want to come up with a strategic plan, which will, show all that we should do and how we should do it. And, what is the expectation, how far would that take the party? So we've worked on that strategic plan, and that strategic plan has been looked at by the Center Committee, which is the main body to actually approve it. And it is now considered and adopted. Yes, so we also have financial plan. We call it, we've involved a lot of other things in terms of how do you raise finance to run a political party. And we look at the laws and look at what are the possibilities to do. And then a proposal was made by a committee which is responsible for finance and sovereign wealth fund. So they also come up with that, and that was also considered. Made amendments are done, and then it's adopted. So that's how we are going. The issue of the election cycle was also mentioned. It was also discussed. We felt that the Congress had given, endorsed the idea of Team Gambia initiative in coalition building to build a grand coalition. So we decided that we would give them time. Sidia Jatta, Halifa Sallah, to finish their consultation.
So we'll come to the coalition later.
Yes.
So you guys have resolved that for now you're not working on putting up a candidate.
Yeah, well, we've given a timeline
Yeah.
to see the progress of that initiative. And that timeline will determine to us whether things are moving in that direction or we should take plan B.
But so far, how do you see the base, as it were? Because for the longest time, Halifa has been very synonymous with intellectual leadership, PDIS leadership, Sidia. Each time you talk about DOI, people talk about Halifa and Sidia.
Yes.
And now you are
It's been
having
there for a
to,
long
yes,
time.
so you are having to have those people retreat and take a back seat. How do you see the base? Are they still galvanized? Are they still,
Yes, like I said, we have a new constitution.
Yeah.
And that constitution also includes something that we are talking about. Anybody who rescinds, or steps down,
Yeah.
does not mean that we are going to go out of the party.
Yes.
But we are going to the foundation.
Yes.
To solidify the foundation.
Yeah.
I call it a pyramid system.
Yeah.
Those who are at the top come down to the bottom. Those
Yeah.
who are there, they move on to the top.
Yeah.
And they are supported by
So
those
they
who
are still within the structure.
They are within the structure. Halifa would be in the, what we call the expert bureau.
Okay.
Where, everything that needs to be researched and
Yeah.
and be informed, that bureau will take up that.
So that they can still be the resources for the party.
Exactly.
But the face, not the face.
Not the face, but
Yeah.
but they'll be there. They'll be there giving advice.
And do you feel like the party has positively welcomed this development, or the grassroots has positively welcomed
Yes,
this
there
development?
like you said, transition.
Yeah.
We are in a transition, and in a transition, not everybody understands everything at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
But it is our responsibility to make our members to understand, because a party is a team. And in team, everybody must understand what is going on. So you have some people who have reservation in having them where they are. But you have a lot of people also who understand that their input is still required for a party like this to function, to continue to function, and to prosper. So it's just to explain to the few people who may not have understood the role that they are playing.
Yeah. I mean, let me bring Biran here. Biran, I mean, PDIS for the very long time has been synonymous with Halifa, Sidia. I mean, of course, people have also said that they should take a back seat and give chance to a young generation to take up. I mean, how do you see the transition?
Yeah, I think as far as DOI is concerned, it has been one of the most consequential political parties in the political history of the Gambia. And for the fact that we can say DOI is one of few political parties that do not have leadership concentrated on only one person. And therefore the appointment of the new leader also signals that. We have seen instances in Gambia where, political parties been established by certain individuals who continue to lead them. And therefore that argument or that narrative of parties being built around individual personalities is a thing that perhaps you cannot say much about DOI. And, us in the field of academia, really resonates a lot with DOI as it relates to what we lecture or what we teach in terms of political ideas, political ideologies, political values, and so on. It is a party that is built on the highest level of intellectual standard and values. And therefore, when we reference few political parties in the Gambia with a clear ideological line, we often reference DOI as such. I think it's one of those most important political parties in the Gambia.
But there are critics who do say though that the change might have come a little bit late in the game. Do you share that view? That the reforms should have happened a little bit earlier?
Yes, they may have a genuine reason to do that, but again, you have to put it into context in terms of the broader political picture of the Gambia. I mean, for the fact that they've been doing it and others have never tried to do so, I think you must give them credit for that.
I mean,
as
change
well.
of leadership.
Change of leadership. I know they've been in existence for a long period of time, but we have instances where Halifa has been the flag bearer.
And Sidia also.
Sidia has been the flag bearer. And hopefully also maybe perhaps in the upcoming election we might see a different flag bearer. But that is something that you cannot say with so many political parties in the Gambia, which shouldn't be the case. Which shouldn't be the case actually. I think, yes, some can say that the reforms were slow, but when you put it into perspective along other political organizations, I think they have done okay.
If you look at PDOIS for a very long time, I mean, their political existence have been very entrenched in 3 constituencies at the very least. I mean, Serekunda East, Wuli, and now Sidia's Wuli West. Now Suwaibou's Wuli East, because Sedia lost in the last elections. But Suwaibou came back to win, and Halifa's also replacement in Serekunda also won. Does that sort of show, because there seems to be a shifting electoral base here. I mean, you didn't used to win Wuli East.
Yeah.
And now it's a new terrain there, the territory there.
Yes, I think...
is that growth, or do you see, because, I mean, they've lost one and they've gained one. I mean, is that growth, or do you think that they're still just changing, shifting basis?
I think it's more of a shifting basis, in my opinion. I think one of the challenge for DOI over the years has been to really expand beyond these areas, beyond Wuli or exactly, beyond those areas. And I think that has been the challenge for them since the 1980s. I mean, people will say that it is one of the most organized political party in the Gambia there. But politics also is on the basis of numbers. How are you able to really attract in the deepest areas of the Gambia votes? I think that has been the major challenge for the political mobilization at the grassroots level, to a level where it can really really propel you to political power. Because the main aim and objective of political parties is to contest and win elections, whether local elections or presidential elections. And therefore, it doesn't matter how long you've been in existence. You will be judged based on your performance in electoral projects and activities. But again, DOI also do have a different dimension. Initially, the goal, based on my understanding, based on what I've read, is not only to be so concentrated on power, but also to provide political education and enlightenment. And that is what has happened. They have managed to do that successfully in Wuli. I don't know why they've not been able to penetrate other constituencies in the Gambia, because I remember going to surveys in Wuli research where you
Is that Wuli West or East?
It's Wuli.
Yeah.
It's either Wuli West or Wuli East. Huh?
Yeah, Wuli West.
And you realize the level of political understanding, awareness, and the level of alignment they have with DOI.
Yeah.
Sometimes begs you to wonder, why really are they not able to penetrate other areas like Badibu, Kiang, or other parts of the Gambia in terms of that reach?
They used to have quite a reasonable good support in Salikene, though. I mean, I don't know how they lost it.
I don't know. I think for DOI we are everywhere. We are consolidating. You know, when changes take place, a lot of, I don't know how to call it, a lot of hope is being built that this change can change our lives.
Yes.
And therefore, many people want to go to that change, to benefit from that change.
Yeah.
And therefore, it erupts the process. But what I can tell you is that generally, the trajectory is to, like he said, to come up with an educational program which will actually cover the whole country. And the way we have, like I said, the new constitution, we have regional branches which are consolidated now. And our hope is that all those regional branches will not only be intellectually, empowered, but they will also be materially empowered, so that they'll be able to do their job properly.
So that they can have resources to do their own independent political work.
Exactly. So, of course, with the direction of the Central Committee.
Yeah.
So I believe when that comes, we will be able to, adequately cover the terrain of the country in terms of political education and mobilization. And I believe stage by stage, our work is completely different from all other political parties. It's difficult to explain to people. But we are not looking for people to follow us just for the sake of following us. We want you to understand what we are up to. You understand? You will see a Burkina Faso which has taken a gun and bring the change they have brought. But are the people really following? Are they really understanding what is actually happening? All they can say is that this development is taking place, this development is taking place.
So Sidia used to say the people should be the authors of their own development.
Exactly. So we want the people to understand us, to understand our program, to understand and accept and vote for that program. That's not an easy thing. And during that process, you don't, just like the law is saying, you don't induce people. I give you. You go to URR now, you find Adama Barrow there. He's inducing people.
Yeah, but if you
So you don't induce. The law is saying don't induce people.
Yeah.
Help them to understand your program and let them vote for you without any pressure, without any intimidation, without any inducement of any kind. But that's what DOI is doing. But what are the other parties doing? They're going with bags of rice. They're going with money. They're going with this thing. And when you check how they get that money, and then you take over power, the person who gives you that money, you have to serve him.
Yeah.
So you will forget about serving the people, and then you will concentrate on serving people who gave you the money.
Yeah, because that's where illegal campaign funding comes.
Exactly.
Illegal campaign finance.
All this illegal, but who is monitoring the illegal campaign? If the incumbent goes and do illegal things, who controls him? Who does anything? Who comments? So I, in fact, believe that when you have electoral reform, you need to have another layer, like another commission, which will monitor the Electoral Commission and monitor all political parties as to what they are doing. So our work is so strategic that we are not necessarily after the power, but we want the people to go with us to get that power and then use it.
There are counter arguments that look, for a political party to be able to implement its ideas, however fine they are, they've got to get to power.
Yes.
And so therefore, the end should justify the means.
Yeah, but don't, my position is that you don't go out of, the norms, the laws.
The ethical values.
The ethical values, and just because you want to get power. Because when you do those corrupt things and you get power, you will be corrupt. You are going with that corruption to government. So you can never come out of corruption. This government that is there now will never escape corruption.
Yeah.
You understand? Because they are already corrupt. A corrupt government like this going into the electoral system, corruption, inducement of people continuously intimidating. I'm told, I'm just from URR, that all the alcalis, is the chiefs that were put together and they were giving money. And then alcalis, the next one is the alcalis. So it's misuse of incumbency. There is no level playing field.
And you're saying the incumbent has to have a place to get that money.
Yes.
And where it gets that money, it has to serve that with an interest that is...
Exactly. And then you look at the whole system, you go to the National Assembly and then you disburse $50 million to the President's office. For what? For touring the country.
Yeah.
That is already giving that incumbent an edge.
An edge, yeah.
A disadvantage to the competitors.
The competitors.
So it's not a level playing field. And now you take that people's tax money and then you call them and then you dish it to them and say, vote for me. And if you don't vote for me, I will know and I will win. And when I win, I will remove you people from your positions. That's intimidation.
That's intimidation.
So whether they do it openly or they do it secretly, it is already known that they are doing the wrong things to be able to get back to power. And once they get back to power, in that corrupt manner, they will continue to be a corrupt government.
Yeah.
And as long as we have a corrupt government in place, you know that you cannot address the needs and aspirations.
So he who pays the piper determines the tone of the music. But here, I mean, if you are looking at PDOIS electoral success, Sidia has been winning quite comfortably in Wuli West.
Yeah.
It changed.
Yeah.
He lost election.
Yes, I can explain that. You know, it's different strategies.
And you won. You have not been traditionally winning in the Wuli East.
Yes.
But when you started winning, I think this is your second
The
time.
scenarios are different.
Okay.
Sedia is targeted, very much targeted. The incumbent has already pronounced that I am going to retire Sidia Jatta from politics.
Okay.
You did not hear that pronouncement?
Yes, I heard.
You've heard that?
Yeah.
Now, before the elections, there was a vacancy. There was a vacancy for chieftaincy.
Yeah.
And that chieftaincy, you know, the local people also want to become chiefs.
Yeah.
That's their position.
Yeah, that's
in all these villages, almost 9, 10 villages, 11 villages, there is, you know, an aspirant who want to become that chief.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to give that chieftaincy until after the elections. So now they use all those aspirants to campaign for them, hoping that they are going to be chiefs. You understand?
Okay.
So all those people campaign, you know, for the ruling party to maintain because they have already won the presidency.
And they were hoping they would be chiefs.
Yes, and they would be chiefs. So they work very hard to be able to, you know, ensure that the ruling party candidate wins. That is one. Now you have the other dimension of a person like my party going there, the UDP putting up, you know, somebody there, and Sedia Jatta in that same base that he has.
So
and his base, know that his main base is Nyakwe. You understand? So when you have all these people there, who are also from Nyakwe, and they are indigenes of Nyakwe, you understand? They continue to, you know, they are these parochial politics, continue to say, Sedia is not from here originally. Even though he is from there originally, that's their compound. But Sedia is, you know, they have all their class, the caste. You know, you have the Karanke, and then you have the Sulamoro. You know, they use all those things. But the ruling party, you know, also must gain from that base. That base, You understand? By virtue of what I'm telling you. Now, after they have divided that base, now they go into, one can say, a neutral base, which is the second ward. And then you have, you know, equal division, because that area is mainly inhabited by, you know, Fula-speaking people, and then they use a lot of that also. That also contributed. In addition to taking the millions, they have gone to induce the people during the elections. You understand? It was not
it was shocking for Sidia. It was shocking for many people.
See these people giving money out everywhere. So that contributed to Syria losing the seat. But the people have regretted what they have done, because they have seen that the replacement to Syria is not the right replacement. I don't want to say this. You know that person does not perform in the National Assembly, no inside, no outside. So the people really believe that they have made a mistake.
And you know, I mean, but elections, a lot of the time, is not about also reasoning. I mean, people do have voted out competent people and replaced them with far less.
Yeah, that's correct. Like I said, the circumstances dictates, and I say, you know, incumbency, if we give 50 million to a president, you know, for 1 year, and you know that 2027 is also coming. The budget, they will put 50 million there again.
Yeah.
And he can immediately in January he can start disbursing that.
But isn't that...
and then who controls the use of
Let
that?
me come back to you on Wuli, because we will have to discuss what your next strategy is right now there. But Biran, let me bring you here on this. You have, I mean, I saw a commentary also on this subject matter over many times. The opposition are currently going into elections with the president. The president used taxpayers' money to build projects, and he will have to inaugurate them. And he can choose to inaugurate one project at a time. He can choose to inaugurate one project in each village and even strategically place them just close to the elections. He can also choose to go on a nationwide tour on a certain strategic period, which is taxpayer funded. Isn't it the incumbency in itself? The election is rigged in favor of the incumbent, isn't that the situation?
Yes, but...
Or maybe rigged is a harsh word to use.
Naturally, that has been the norm. And this is not only peculiar to the Gambia, but it's a global phenomenon as well. Incumbency always tend to have that advantage, especially in a parochial political society, where people's level of awareness and understanding about these issues is not really up. And therefore, what you have is an incumbency that is, that's why, you know, when I said this somewhere, you know, the incumbency uses state resources. Someone told me that is an allegation. I said no. By virtue of the fact that you are an incumbent, there are certain inherent advantages that comes to you.
Yeah.
I mean, NPP right now, in terms of their financial power, you cannot compare them to any political organization or movement in the Gambia. Why? Because they are in the position where they have access. Even if they're not getting resources directly from the state, I mean, they have associates, people who have stakes.
Contractors.
Exactly. Those that will want to benefit from government. And, you know, that's how government operates. Government work with the private sector. And therefore, sometimes you will see a lot of people funding or supporting incumbent political parties in return for them to get something. But again, in the Gambia, you're absolutely right. I mean, the president is within his right to be doing this tour because these are constitutional mandate, and therefore they are taking advantage of that.
But he can do it there are many people who argue he can do it in good faith. I mean, he can do it in a way that it's also not, you know, it does not also disadvantage the opposition.
I think there is no better way to do it. As far as the mindset is fixated on election, there is no better way. There is no better way for the president to go out there without campaigning. It's immaterial. What he's doing right now is campaigning before campaign has even started. And that is a due advantage. Do you think the president is going to places to inaugurate places just to tell people that he's doing his job? No. He's telling people, look, this is what I've done in exchange for vote. He's also laying new foundations. New
foundation for roads that are not yet built.
New projects as well. So the message that they are sending is that, see, we have promised the people of Jalaba, my village, and you have seen what we have done. The next issue. So these are the privileges and the advantages that they will always use. And therefore, I agree with a recent statement made by Dr. Malang Fai. I think you have him last week. Where he said 6 months to an election, perhaps that's where reforms will come in. The president will be banned from going to this tour. If the constitutional mandate gave him this undue advantage, which is to the detriment of opposition political parties, and we live in a democratic society. Therefore, everything should be fair. Even. You cannot use taxpayers' money to your own advantage by really disadvantaging other political opponent. So perhaps, maybe, I mean, the president has a 5-year mandate. A 5-year. Why wait until 6 months before elections? I think a lot of issues need to be looked into as far as electoral law is concerned. Even the idea of spending, financing, campaign financing in elections in the Gambia is very weak. In fact, we barely have you know, any laws on that in the Gambia, and therefore it needs to be looked into. You know, I mean, you're not allowed to collect funding from external entities,
non-Gambians.
Non-Gambians, but again, the political parties are collecting funds. You're not mandated to disclose them.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So all of these are issues that should
And
be
IEC is also not mandated to enforce.
No.
So, but let me bring, because even if you bar the tour 6 months to the elections, you still have projects that he will continue to launch, and each project launch is a political rally. And in fact, even the OIC, the bridge where he's building a traffic lights, is just about ready for launch.
It is, but again, you cannot have opposition parties think differently. This is nothing but a privilege and a tool exploited by the incumbency in order to get himself elected. Again, just look at the rhetorics. Look at the statements being made. I mean, what you have in this tour is not only NPP on a tour, but the entire NPP alliance.
Yeah.
All the other political parties that are within NPP alliance are there in the tour right now, politicking.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So the idea and the time frame is very clear. This is a campaign before campaign. The president has an advantage to do a first round, and he's going to do a second round also when campaign arises.
Yeah, but
so obviously there's no better way to sugarcoat it.
Okay, Honorable, you guys are in the parliament.
Yeah.
I mean, if something is happening, I mean, campaign financing, you can regulate it. It falls under your mandate. You can regulate it in a way that is reasonable. The nationwide tour, in fact, each time you approve it, they only come to spend much more than what you approve. I mean,
yes, you know, like you said, if you have a corrupt system, it corrupts everywhere, including the National Assembly.
yeah.
Members of the National Assembly are not thinking homogeneously. They are all thinking of themselves, of other things. So the ruling party has the majority there. And then you have independents that are aligned.
Yes.
You know that. And you
Slowly they are going.
Then you have nominated members who are in name nominated.
Yeah.
And they are supposed to represent other
Interests.
You know, interests.
Yeah.
Like vulnerable groups.
Vulnerable
But
groups,
they are not doing that. They are in fact more vociferous in supporting the president, president's policies than even the MPs, you know, elected
that are
on
elected.
the MPP ticket.
Yeah.
So with such a scenario, you bring any of these things, they just discard it. Not that these ideas have not been discussed. We've just dealt with the
Elections Act,
law. We've struggled to put as many good things there, but anytime we go to elections, you know, raise your hands, you know that we lose.
Yeah.
So we've succeeded in putting some few things there, you know. But that election rule needs to be looked at. Any new change, any change that comes place, they need to really look into it and make it better. We have an Africa Elections Charter. And that charter, you know, talks about so many other things. There are so many principles there, and ethics, and et cetera, et cetera. But they are not being accepted by many of the, even those who have appended their signatures.
Those who ratified it.
Those who ratified them. Those who actually adopted them at the AU level. That is the presidents. While they go back to home and they want to stay, they begin to change things, unravel things again.
Yeah.
So really, if the Gambian people want to really have change, they just need to remove the government and put another party in government.
So about
perhaps that would solve.
About that, I mean, 2016 we were here. I mean, one of the most fundamental cries of the time was that we needed to have proper electoral reforms.
Yeah.
And we had change.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the change was again hijacked.
Yeah.
No clear-cut reform were done.
Yeah.
And so we are here
Efforts
again.
were done.
Yeah.
Efforts were done. In terms of Gambians living abroad to participate in election was number one
Yeah.
in the electoral reform
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
You know, attestations should be out.
Yeah.
Huh? You have the alkali giving attestation. You have the chief giving attestation. And this is election matter.
Yeah.
And these are not election officials.
Yeah.
And these two authorities under the president,
Yeah.
who the president is mandated to remove from their position.
Yeah.
And then you ask them to go and give attestation.
Yeah.
So the MPP, for example, ruling party people come and bring small children and say, Alkali, give them attestation. All children have birth certificates.
Yeah.
So why don't they not take their birth certificate?
Because that
to
would
register?
show they are not qualified.
So they register a lot of children. They
Yeah.
believe parents of whom would be supporting them.
Yeah.
We've studied that during this registration, and we've come to the conclusion that really, if you want to take those children to the revising court, you are still not solving the problem. You know, let me tell you that I told the IEC that, and I told the international observers that came, the EU and all this. I said, look, those who are doing the registration, they want to register, teenagers that would be 18 by presidential election. So now, what about those who are going to be 18 by National Assembly elections? They are not given the chance. What about those who are going to be 18 by
The mayoral elections?
Mayoral elections.
Yeah.
They are going to be disenfranchised.
Yeah.
But there will be no registration between
those
the
times.
presidential election and those elections.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So I say you have not taken care of that. The best way to regulate this thing is to have all these elections on one day.
On one day. Yeah.
And then all the laws will be aligned. But the way they do it, you just address the issue of presidential. What about the other elections? Are they not important? They are as important as the presidential election. So, but these are all anomalies that needs to be addressed. And then attempts were done, but they are rejected at the national assembly level. Because your MPs refuse to endorse it.
We end up with a political system where we literally have a king in the state house.
Yeah.
That is very hard to
yeah.
That's very hard to replace.
Yeah, that's the issue we have. Yeah. And that's why when it comes to coalition, for us, it's a grand coalition. We've tried in 2016.
Yeah.
And that was a success in terms of, getting...
So before we get to the coalition, let's address the issue of Wuli first.
Yes, Wuli, okay.
What's the strategy in Wuli right now? Yeah. Do you think that Wuli is effectively back to PDIS? I'm talking about Wuli West. Yeah. Do you think it's effectively back to PDIS? Where we could see, even if presidential they wouldn't win, but National Assembly they're still going to take it back. And is there somebody who is prepping up to take it back, or Sidia is going to hit the road again?
Well, to tell you the truth, we've not gone to that level to discuss that. But I'm just from Wuli West and Wuli East. I know what people keep on telling me is that they have regretted taking out Sedia from that seat. That was a big regret for them. So I believe that we still have people there who are capable of standing for to replace Sedia in that place if Sedia does not intend to contest again. But I am not ruling out Sedia contesting again because people are still calling for his coming back. Yeah. So I believe that he's healthy, he's strong, he's energetic, and I think he can come back and contest. And I believe if he goes back, he will get back his seat.
He will get back his seat.
He will get his back.
Yeah. And at this point, Biran, PDIS is quite significant. Now we will have to take the conversation away to the coalition. Right now, we have Gambian opposition parties because the whole point is you agree that the president and the trajectory of the country is not going very well. And now we have to get to a point where he needs to be removed. Do you think one person can do it? Do you think right now, what are the odds?
I think the chances of that happening are very slim at the moment. Based on the fact that when you analyze the opposition political landscape or the political landscape in general, I think the opposition's misdirecting their vision to the wrong purpose. Why do I say that? I mean, when you look at Gambian politics today, even in media platform, it is infighting between opposition parties, fragmentation. It is either one coalition group attacking another coalition group instead of focusing on NPP. NPP should be the objective. That is, from a political or from an opposition party point of view, the desire is truly to get rid of President Adama Barrow. I don't think few months to an election, the focus should be in fighting or rather castigating more opposition fragmentation. Because I have said it time without numbers. In my opinion, I believe fragmentation only favors NPP, and its greatest electoral success in 2026 might be a divided opposition. Because first we need to analyze the numbers within the oppositions themselves. You have,
based on the past election results?
Based on the past election and contemporary political nature as well. Let's not forget, NPP is a big alliance. It's not a single political party. And now you have Mama Kande joining them. You have Coalition 2026, led by Talib Bensouda. You also have the United Democratic Party. It will be interesting to know where they also position themselves in these discussions. But I mean, as far as the two coalition arrangements are concerned, I think it is just a disintegrated United Democratic Party, a disintegrated UDP, where you have Talib, who is a significant political prospect in the Gambia, I think, formerly of UDP. You have Lamin J. Daba, who is also formerly of UDP, and you have the United Democratic Party as well. So I think from that perspective alone, it should tell you that a divided opposition does not really make sense if the target is to get rid of the president out of power.
So is your point that, I mean, what we are in fact seeing and calling as a two-fragment coalition is just UDP and its grandchildren?
But just analyze it. I mean, unite the numbers. What we can just assume for now, I'm not saying that the numbers are just going to come from UDP, but Talib was one of the bedrock of the United Democratic Party, who've been winning KMC. And perhaps those numbers are still with him. So those numbers were originally from the United Democratic Party. I mean, there are new independent voters, undecided voters. There's a chance that they may also take votes from NPP as well. Now that Mama Kande has also joined, NPP can say, well, we're going to replace those numbers. But these are just the projections for now. It doesn't mean that they are factual.
Because it can also be the case that Talib's split can still also get a new base and not necessarily the UDP base, like Barrow did. Barrow split and he established
but even
a
from
new base.
from a UNP executive point of view, I mean, you have United Democratic Party members joining them, isn't it? So it is inevitable that numbers from UDP are going to migrate to the United Democratic Party to
UMC,
an extent.
to UMC.
Yes, to UMC or to Coalition 2026. Now, I don't think under the current arrangement, it's right to say UMC, but that is going to be the case. In my own opinion. So I'm not really seeing these different camps really winning single-handedly against the National People's Party. Because let's also, we also have to put into perspective the electoral system of the Gambia. If it was an absolute majority, NPP would be in big trouble. Because even if one coalition came out second, there are chances that all the coalitions will come together and defeat, because you need 50+% of the votes. And it will be very difficult to say that NPP are going to have 50+% of the votes in the upcoming election. I mean, they have done so in the last election, but considering the fact that there is a voter registration that also happened and the number of electorates have also increased massively. So when we analyze politics, we need to understand the political system, the electoral system in place is a simple majoritarian system, and they always tend to favor incumbent political parties because of the access that they have. So in this context, I believe what would have been the ideal is a grand alliance. A
Grand
united
alliance of one,
opposition
like in
form. Yes.
2016?
Yes, like 2016, because it also plays into the psychology of voters as well.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, undecided voters out there are thinking, well, like if I vote for a divided opposition, my vote is still going to be a waste. Barrow is going to win. But you know, the psychology
It
of
could
also
create
matters.
voter apathy.
It may create voter apathy, or it may lead to a situation where people will just simply say, no, NPP is going to win whatever you do. NPP is going to win. Even
So
if
they
I
don't vote.
They may abstain from voting, or they might just decide to vote for NPP because simply the oppositions are not where they're supposed to
But
be.
the UDP position has been that they've won the 2021 presidential election and it was stolen. So if that's anything to go by, then that means they
Well,
could
that
still-
is a UDP perspective. I'm not going to comment on that. IEC certifies that the winners of the elections were the
was the NPP.
National People's Party. So we have to base our argument.
But do you
based on
not,
that.
do you not think we are casing Sados by now? I mean, for example, if you look at, I'll come to you, Manju, in 1 minute. If you look at the fragments right now, you already have the UMC candidate-led, whatever. And you have the UDP party-led alliance. And in 2016, the situation was different. You were here, I was here, we were all active. The situation was different. This case, if we are going to have one alliance, we will have to dismantle this entire alliance and form it again.
I can comment on. You know, people are still horse trading.
Yeah,
People are still consulting.
yeah.
So we should not conclude that the alliances that are built are final. I think those who are building alliances are building alliances for further argument.
For leverage.
Yes, for leverage. Okay. So I think they all believe in a grand alliance.
Grand alliance.
Yes, in a grand alliance that can actually bring about this change. So you can continue to talk to
Other
those
people.
who are going to be discussing that grand alliance.
Okay.
So that by the time they make a decision, they may be on your side. You understand? I believe that is the tactic. But none of these people believe that they can bring about change without that grand alliance.
Are you sure about that? Did
Yes,
they tell
I am
you?
100%
Did
sure.
they tell you?
Whether they tell me or not, you've been analyzing with Gai.
Yeah.
I don't want to say something and then they will start saying my analysis. But if you look at it, UDP has 1 KM, Banjul, and
Brikama.
and Brikama, WCR.
And the LRR.
And the LRR.
In terms of the local government.
In terms of the local government. But that should not baffle analyzers.
Yeah.
Because at that time the voter turnout was very low.
Was lower
it means
than
that UDP has done sufficient work to mobilize all their people.
Yeah.
And then the people who don't want to even participate are more than those who participated.
Yeah.
You understand? So if we want to analyze that, because they have won these areas, and that is the major population area, you understand? So therefore, in your psychology, you can say, we are going to win an election. But no. You must always look at the number that has voted and the number that did not even participate.
But they are also saying those numbers that voted on the presidential election are actually ghost numbers. They don't exist. The whole point is that they didn't turn up somehow during the parliamentary and the local government
they turned up during the presidential.
Yes, so they turned up during because they were
not turned up during
stolen.
the council election, because in Gambian history, once you win a presidential election, people go to the next election.
Yeah.
You know, it's 3-year elections.
Yeah.
Eventually, the campaign, people get exhausted. And some people, at the end, they will say, this is council elections. I don't want to participate in this. So that is the main reason. But if you use that to decide that you are going to win an election, it can be a mistake. Secondly, you have a fracture of the UDP.
Yeah.
Talib coming out, whether you like it or not. KM is terribly fractured. You understand? And if you go to WCR, you will see Lamin Dabo coming out.
Yeah.
Gunjur.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
He had.
So I know that there is a fracture. And then if you look at Keba Madiboja, out of the
NPP, yes.
You know, whether you know it or not, Jambur
area.
You know, I live in Farato.
Yeah.
You know, Busumbala. These are family groupings, and these people they politic on family issues.
Yeah.
So I can see that he's doing a lot of mobilization in that area.
Yeah.
So you cannot really predict how far that relationship of Jambur going to Burfoot and Kartong and other places, you never be able to predict that.
Yeah.
So there is no certainty that the support base that they have in WCR, you know, is increasing, and it is increasing to a level where it can give them a win. Now, if you go to the provincial areas, the Barrow government has calculated by you know, it's a calculation. Now let's go into Africa 50.
Yeah.
We get $100 million.
Dollars, yes.
And then give us $3.5 billion. Let's invest a good part of that on road construction because everybody needs a road.
Yeah.
So wherever you have 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers.
Yeah.
So they targeted every constituency
so
that they have at least some roads, which will so that
boost their chances.
Boost their chances.
Yeah.
So the provincial area can be challenging to the opposition.
And extending also the rural electrification.
Yes.
And
the rural electrification is an ECOWAS project.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter to the people.
Yes, but that must be explained to the people that this is an ECOWAS project. And Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry are all benefiting from that dam that is in Guinea.
Yes.
So that is an ECOWAS project.
Yeah.
Of course, it is aligned to the Gambia.
Yeah.
But whether Barrow is there or not, that electrification has been on and it has.
Yeah, we know
But I'm trying to say that is another challenge.
Yes, that's another challenge.
In terms of the psychology of the people.
The people,
For me, it is not road that makes me to decide to vote for somebody. Because it is livelihood. You go to the market, how is the market? Your children's education is very important. Do they have jobs, meaningful jobs after they leave, etc.? How is the groundwork sector? The economy is key. How are the people's livelihoods taking place? That should be the key to the campaign. You understand? And you come up with a formidable program that you can convince the Gambian people that you can make their life better within 5 years.
So right now, I mean, I go back to the 2016 scenario.
Yeah.
You've talked about 2016. You've analyzed the strength, what you believe is the strength of the UDP. But if you look at it, I mean, in 2016, the complex situation that were existing, one, Jammeh was a threat to the very body of opposition politics in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Two, the human rights situation was at a point that people were protesting in Banjul. There is every indication, there was just December 30th attack. Yeah. There's every indication that we could have even worse if Jammeh got re-elected. So people were afraid.
Yeah.
That side is there. And the other aspect is that the opposition came to have an easy, you have 7 political parties and 2 independents, which is the PDOIS and the rest of them, the UDP, and you know, the others. Only Mama Kanda did not come. Even the independents, it was easy to deal with because you only have 2 independents at the time. Aissatou Touray, Buba Aisane, and I believe these are the 2 camps. Right? Now, it's a little bit less complicated than you currently have. Would you agree?
I believe now it's more complicated.
Now it's more complicated.
Now it's more complicated. You have a proliferation of political parties. And you don't know the head and tail of many of them. They have no ideology. They have no, I don't want to criticize them, but I am saying you have a lot of them. And to unite them is a problem. And then you form an opposition party. Forming an opposition party means that you want to challenge the incumbent, you want to challenge the government that is in place. You are saying that government is not good enough. And you want to replace it. But when election comes, you go and pack and go and join that government.
Because it's entrepreneurs.
That's what I'm saying. So how do you predict that type of opposition? They are tarnishing the image of the opposition by doing those things. Because who will now many people can say, why should I support the opposition? Look at them there. I support them for 10 years. I support them for 15 years. I put my resources, I put my energy, I put my intellect, I did everything. Now all of a sudden,
he goes and
join the person I'm opposing.
Yeah.
But it has also been vice versa.
Yeah, so it's a problem. Huh? So it makes it very, very complex. You understand? And then people are thinking of where do I place myself?
Yeah.
They are not thinking about how do I salvage the country.
Yeah.
They are thinking about how do I place myself so that when, at least at the outcome, I am made this. You understand? So that I also benefit from what they call the national cake. That's what they are calculating. If you are calculating the national interest, it is easier to bring people.
So, but now, what do you think is the easier model? As a party leader, when you sit down there, I mean, what Halifa and Team Gambia is going to be doing, it's Halifa and Team Gambia, maybe Sidia and others. Yeah. But for you, watching out for the interest of the PDOIS, as you sit down there, what would you be thinking? Because, for example, now, we know, judging by the last presidential elections, you have PDOIS, you have ASAFAL, you have UDP. These are the parties that went into the elections. Yeah. And they've all got results we know. Yeah. Okay, now Mama Kande is out of the square. Yeah. There are some who have just come, but they have no proven electoral records. Yeah. They have not even held one rally. Yeah. And now, do you not think it's easier to broker conversation between a smaller group of more significant groups, parties? Then once you have something from there, you can now bring the 24 parties to come and say, hey, look, you guys come, let's have a broader discussion now.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. The idea is that you're speaking to all of them, at least in different fora. You spoke to them.
One-on-one.
And then when you call for a meeting of like-minded members, you will see the turnout will determine those who are like-minded. And then from there, you discuss about the program first. And then after the program, you discuss about the modality.
But would you have time for that?
No, there is time. There is time.
I mean, you have only 4 months to the elections.
Yeah, you have 4 months to elections, but there is still time.
If you want to discuss the program,
you can meet next week.
Because the agenda is already there. You already have a 2016 agenda, which is in suspended animation.
Yeah, that's correct.
The 2016 agenda, it's still in there.
Yes,
it's there.
It's incomplete.
Yes, it's incomplete.
It's incomplete. A lot of it is.
Yes. So, and if you are going to have a coalition government, I would imagine it will be it will emphasize more on reforms. Yeah. Yeah. So that means you can still take those up. Yeah. But if you want to broker a conversation among 24 groups, how would that look like?
No, like I said, it's like-minded people. If you call for 24 and then something like 16 turns out and say we want this program, we want to go a program, we want to have a program which we will sell to the people. We don't want to sell a party. We want to sell a program to the Gambian people. I believe that is more appealing to the people than to say I'm going to sell one single party. All of you join me, and then we know that all the parties have some flaws. And once you put up a party, the likelihood is that you will have a lot of people who will say, this party, we cannot put, these are the people who did this in 2016. These are the people who did this in 2019, etc., etc. So this the person who said this person who said this other one. So it's going to be complex. But if it is a program that you all accept, like-minded people, you accept that, and then you come to whoever you put, you propagate the idea rather than the person.
So you are less pessimistic. You think that all the parties, all the claims they are making about party-led, system-led, alliance, whatever, all the things that are happening right now, they are just preparing for the table.
I believe that they are
more leverage.
That's what I believe. If we are now different scenarios, we are talking about different scenarios. If, for example, you go into such a grouping and there is disintegration, a party like DOI, for example, can discuss and say, well, let's look at all these groupings and look at their program and see how we can encourage them assimilate our program within their program. And if they accepted that, why not just
Join them.
support that?
We've seen
What
you've
is
done
wrong
a
with that?
similar thing, United Front,
Yeah.
2011.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
So I'm saying still there is a lot of horse trading, and I believe that this is not the time to conclude. I think primaries will continue to happen.
Are you pessimistic or are you optimistic?
Well, I'm very pessimistic, and I don't think. First, you need to understand the different interests within the oppositions, and whether it really makes sense for us to think that these interests are going to come together. There is a UDP demand out there. There is also a unite demand out there. You also need to aggregate the ambitions of the individuals within those coalition arrangements as well. And they have made their point very clear, or their position very clear, as to what they really want. So I don't see a scenario closer to election where these different camps are going to align. They might be optimistic. Other political parties also might be optimistic. But the scenario or the direction of travel is really one that is opposite to one another.
So what do you think we will end up with?
I think we'll end up with having different coalition.
You think maybe we already have
Coalition
a shape right
26 has already been in effect. Likewise, the UDP-led coalition also. I don't see a scenario where UDP will join, unite, and accept the conditions. I don't also see a scenario where Unite will join UDP and accept the conditions. Because the motivation...
Well, Unite and UDP seems to be at...
Exactly, yeah.
Because they're having personal issues.
Yeah, because the motivation has always been one that is of divergence. Divergence.
But that's understandable, isn't it? Because,
yes, it is. So
I
that's
mean,
why
Unite
I said,
people, the whole reason why they left the UDP was because they felt the UDP leadership is not electable.
Yes.
So you cannot have it both ways.
And historically, we've seen UDP do not always renege from their position. We have seen scenarios of the past in 2006 and in 2011 when they do not get what they want. They tend to walk away and stand on their own. And that is the same scenario we are also seeing in 2026. So that's why I said I am very pessimistic that there will be an alignment.
So
It also remains to be
in a
seen.
situation where, for example, right now, because we see now, aside from Halifa talking about Team Gambia, right? You also have Fatoumata Tambajang in the picture. Dr. Halifa Touray, I'm not sure which position he is right now, or he holds right now. So you don't think maybe either Halifa or Fatoumata could come in and sort of, in the worst case scenario, convince the others to join the UDP? You don't think that's not possible?
I don't see that happening. You know, I mean, the very problem of Muzaba, the very problem of coalition building in the Gambia is that I don't think at times they are sincere to themselves.
That's right.
And with the proliferation of so many political parties and movements, I mean, sometimes you see a person with a movement that has not even contested election before. Movements that are not even legal, having a stake in coalition discussions. What do you expect from maybe grand political parties? I mean, I tend to agree with the position that bigger political parties hold. I tend to agree with the position of UDP. I don't blame them in their position. Because they can have the argument that they are the biggest political party in Gambia.
You believe that the UDP should lead and others join them too?
I don't believe that they should lead. What I believe
you find
is
it
what makes
justifiable,
sense.
right?
No, I said what makes sense from a UDP position is that they will want to lead because they are the majority political party. I mean, it is a failure from a UDP perspective that they are not able to attract other political parties to to join them. That will have been the ideal,
scenario
situation, for them. But also, coalition building. Sometimes you have to renege from certain positions and certain demands if you want to attract others as well. Because do not just minimize the significance of other political parties or other movements as well. I think they are, all of these elements need to come together. But also, I equally believe that any coalition without the United Democratic Party, I don't think they will be able to win in 2026, because you need the numbers of the United Democratic Party. Historically, they have proven that they have fixed numbers. UDP numbers do exist. And therefore, any political organizations will need their numbers. Likewise, they too will need the remaining numbers of the others in order to jettison President Barrow out of power.
I understand. I mean, we've gone too far into the program. I understand you can be very optimistic. But even the current status quo where we're having mergers are already being formed. Last week, after the Coalition 2026 formed their merger, instead of the media reporting on the good news, they were reporting on SFL making allegations of inducement against Talib.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It ended up in a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
And you have a situation also, the UDP went and signed an alliance. At least the UDP enjoyed some good media coverage until something happened last night. But you have this situation where UMC and UDP are very far apart. Right now they are in an seemingly irreconcilable two positions.
Yeah.
And you have SFL now walking out of the Coalition 2026 and is making some very damaging allegations against Talib.
Yeah.
Each day you are having an opposition mayor like Barrow is number 2 bad. I'll be sonkola drunk. Like, do you think that that's not going to haunt the process?
It will definitely do. Anybody who observes, you know that it will do.
So how would you tame this? How would you turn this volume back to zero?
Like
Instead
I
of
said,
everybody.
You've already done the analysis. In 2016, you had three entities going into elections.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that was good.
Now you are talking about, you have it, let's assume that the UMC and UDP, position does not change.
Yeah.
So let's say you have 2.
You have 2, yes.
In addition to, Adam Barrow, you have 3.
Yes.
NPP.
Like in 2016.
Yeah, this time you may have the 4th wave.
You may have 4.
You may have the 4th wave.
Yes.
It will be based on, from my perspective, if it is based on program, not on personality, you cannot rule them out.
The 4th one.
Yes. You cannot rule them out. Because the people want genuine change. We've gone to 2016, we want genuine change, we did not have it. We are still reeling. All this electoral, this thing, and legal and constitutional issues have not been addressed. The economy is not addressed. You understand? So we can have, a 4th wave. I believe that. We can have a 4th wave. And it can be a 4-way, very strong 4-way fight. In a small country like this. Some base their campaign on ethnic group. They look for their surname, wherever that surname is, they target them. Some target communities, some target regions. I hear some people talking about we Kombonkers.
Yes.
This is the type of campaign.
And you made an
aside.
Kombongol, Kabiri last presidency,
so you never know. Yes. And then I see other tactics like you hold, trying to identify all your National Assembly members from now, so that you place them in all those places, and even their communities will begin to, think that, after the elections, they are going to be put up as National Assembly, so they should support the party that is going to put them up. So you have so many other ways of mobilizing people. So don't close your mind to...
Barrow will win.
Yeah, Barrow will win.
But Barrow also has quite a lot of disadvantages. Let's look into that. You have rising youth migration. There is rising inflation. Commodity price inflation. There is also Now we have border crisis add on to it.
Yeah.
And energy crisis is not going away.
No, not anytime soon.
Yesterday I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And so these things, do you think these things could also be weaponized against the
Yeah,
government?
that's what I'm saying. If you have a program which will address
Those issues.
these issues and convincingly convince the people that this will address the issues, and you sell that, and then others are selling themselves. They are saying, I am this, I can build a road for you, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I will, we've seen this government is a government of another party.
Yeah.
In 2016. And then these personalities were asked at that time, if you were to run your own party government away from this coalition government, what would you have done differently? And they said they would do exactly the same. So that means that those people don't have any answer or solution to the issues that we are raising. No tangible, convincing answers they have. So that means that
the issue of livelihood.
The fourth wave need to come up with, a program that will answer those issues and convincingly campaign on them.
That is if there is going to be a fourth wave.
Yes.
But then the third wave and the second wave could.
No, we are just.
Yes.
I'm going to say
Hypothetical situations.
In case there is a fourth wave, and which is based on this. That's what I'm saying.
But Biran, if you look at all the things that are currently happening right now, I mean, by 2021, 2021 we had 3 horse race, no? 4. We had the PDOIS, we had Sobea, and we had NPP and UDP.
GDC.
And GDC, yes. So we have 5 people in the race. 5 people in the race. And you have Barrow's main challenger at the polls was Usenu. By 2021, Usenu was considerably very powerful person. I mean, he led a political party that had around 31 National Assembly members.
Yes.
Okay, maybe 31 minus 8. 31 minus 8, that would be 23 or thereabout National Assembly members. Right? He had all the chairpersons but 2, because only the Birikama guy and the GDC, the local government GDC 1 was not under him.
Yeah.
He had around 63 councillors. In one of my interviews, I told him that no one has been in your position and won a presidential election and lost a presidential election in the history of the Gambia. So, but Barrow still won. I mean, whether election is stolen or not, that's neither here nor there. But Barrow still won, right? Now, you have opposition are not in that, there is no party that's currently in that much bigger situation. And all the other factors like rising inflation, food commodity price, they were all here. Migrants were still leaving, people were still dying in the seas, even in 2021. Not much change.
You see, what I like to say is that there are numbers that can beat NPP, but those numbers are fragmented now by the opposition. All that you need is to galvanize them and to unite these numbers. Obviously, an NPP government is not cool, rosy, and dandy, like I usually say. I mean, they have taken so many missteps. If you look at the debilitating and exasperating nature of the Gambian economy, it's not doing well. Look at the migration crisis in the Gambia. Look at the lack of unseriousness from the government of the Gambia to tackle issues that are happening at our borders. I mean, the reason why we say on the Jame they were not doing it, the violations were not as palpable as they are now, isn't it? But it needs a serious government to be able to address that issues. So obviously there are so many challenging issues. But if you need to unite Gambian around voting against such a system, you must give them hope in a sense that there must be a single united opposition front where all these different fragmented opposition, all these different votes will unite together to bring about change. But the reason why it failed, because even at the coalition level, it is built around individual orientations. Okay? UDP are not going to originate from their position. Likewise, Unite, the evidence is very clear that they have palpable leadership ambitions which they are not going to change for anything. And he's talking about a fourth wave. A fourth wave is simply handing NPP victory, as easy as that. Yes, let us not...
You think so?
Yeah, easily.
Do you not think that also, Biran, is it not possible also, because since independence we've not been able to change a president at the ballot until 2016, and we only were able to do it through a coalition. Isn't that also a possibility, one of the reasons why it's deeply ingrained in us, even where it may not be true, that you can only change a government through a coalition? Maybe we are just traumatized. Maybe it's just a kind of psychological,
No.
because that's the only thing we know.
It's not a psychology, it's a fact. You know, when I heard people saying it's very difficult to predict Gambian election, the easiest election to predict in Africa nowadays is Gambia, because incumbents keep winning. Since 1965 till date. The only time there was a difference was in 2016. And I told you that the scenarios that existed on the Jammeh and the scenarios that exist now are different. You know, elections is about factors. What were the reasons why Gambians overwhelmingly voted Jammeh out? We all knew what those reasons were. Can you play the same card against President Barrow? It might not work.
But as you said, the factors change, events change.
Yes.
So therefore, the needs of the time right now has also changed. So
let me also add that Mr. Gai is in the
Gai.
Yeah.
Mr. Gai is in
Gai.
the academia. From 1965 to 2000 and I don't know.
16.
16. No, before the 2016 is 1994. Up to maybe 1995, 1996, 97, there was no university in this country. People just go to high school and that's where they end, unless a few will go outside and come back. Now you have a mass of educated people, a mass of literate people who can read and understand and analyze for themselves. So I believe the times will be changing. The perception, and then the other factor is the diaspora factor. The diaspora is vehemently opposed to the ruling party, and they have their families, even though they are refused to participate in the elections. But they have their families, and if you remember, in 2016, the diaspora played a very crucial role in bringing down Jammeh. And I believe that if that same spirit that I see displayed in the social media is there, is maintained, that can also offset certain situations. But I agree, my position has always been a grand coalition. But we are talking about in a case where you don't have that. I believe
but
that,
do you, if you are going to be a pragmatist right now, do you think there will be a grand coalition?
I wouldn't think that a full grand coalition that will involve everybody. That would not be something I'll be thinking about. But
because just last week, like I said, UMC and the coalition 26 went ahead. They elected a leader. 2 people walked out. Actually, 3 people walked out. Fatmata Tambajang, 1 Balo, and Esafal, which is an extra layer of division. UDP signed its own UDP-led alliance with the parties. Okay? And they withdrew from Apex. And they said, well, it makes no sense for us to be in a coalition and negotiating with another coalition. And then Team Gambia hasn't started. So the thing is not clear yet.
It's not clear yet.
And we have not seen...
That's what I'm saying.
We have not seen the position of Keba Mahdi and others. So it's still a very...
that's what I'm saying. It's still
complex...
Like I said, there is still a lot of horse trading. And unless it is done, it is not yet done.
And 4 months to elections.
Yeah, 4 months. You remember in 2016, coalition building is not a small child's play.
Yeah, but in
In
2016,
2016, it was while we were concluding our MOU.
yeah.
The following day was the nomination day.
But it was look at the
You
odds.
understand?
It was
It's
quite
not
very.
easy.
It was quite very smooth.
Yeah.
Except Aissatou Touray.
Yeah.
There was no dissent.
Yes. What about Mama Kande?
Yeah. Okay. Mama Kande didn't join at all.
Yes.
But as
he was part of it.
Yeah.
Until the last minute when it comes to signing.
yeah,
That's when he said
he
will
he
sign.
left. Yes.
Yeah.
But then, Aissatou Touray was the only one who had a dissent. But she came back.
She came back. Yes. She was compelled to come back.
So what's the
So
difference?
I'm saying, unless it is done, it is not yet done.
Yeah. So
Let's
unless we see it.
Yes, the
Now-
final version.
Now, what do you think right now, under the circumstances, should the opposition be doing? Because already, right now, aside from the coalition, right now also, you're not having a unified focus. I mean, each of you are focused on the president at different times. And at another time, you are fighting each other. Like just last week, UMC and Talib, Esafal and Talib at this.
Don't concentrate on the fights. Concentrate on the positives.
But then the fights are
Yes, even though-
these are the people who are supposed to be at
But
the same
since
table.
you sit here, you are talking about the negatives. We have not spoken
So,
about the
okay, now
positives.
let's talk about the positives then.
Yes.
Like, what are the positives?
Now I'm saying, let's have an open mind.
Yeah.
Let's assume that all the players are interested in salvaging a country.
Yes. No, we have had that.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Let's concentrate on that as the positives.
Yeah.
And then let's also, based on that, we can say, if the discussion continue, people who are interested in national interests are likely to leave their positions, their hiding positions, and compromise a little bit. Because coalition building, must be, done in a compromising way.
Yeah.
You cannot say rigidly. Those who take that rigid position, they are going to be punished by, taking those rigid positions, whether you know it or not. So it's to be flexible, and then know that the country belongs to all of us. We should come up with something that we will forge, which will serve the national interest and the public interest, and then from there we'll be able to reach a stage where we can. Yeah, I understand his position. People who, based on the ego of the individual, it is very difficult for some people to become flexible. But flexibility also has merit, So I believe that when people meet and they have this mindset that we want to salvage a country, and that is the primary preoccupation, I believe that discussion will go to a level where negotiations may be able to produce something positive.
So finally, let's take this as a final point, and this would be reconciling the PDOIS policies with the broader coalition policies. Quite often a time, I mean, as far as the last 2016 experience was concerned, is that the coalition was not focused on development; it was focused on reforms.
Yeah.
And that is the task it gave to the leader.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we ended up having an executive president. There were a lot of people who looked back on that and said, well, maybe we were also unreasonable. The executive president is an executive president. Once elected, you cannot expect the president to behave any other way. Do you think now we should focus more on, you can serve 5 years, but then you have to do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I think that's from my own perspective, I think 5 years would still be fine. Let the person be there for 5 years, but let the person be bound by, a program. Let the person be bound by those ethics. Let the person be bound by those agreements, including an MOU. And, let that person also be, or let that coalition be guaranteed by, for example, other entities, maybe other individuals, maybe who are not even maybe in the country, but they may be outside. Prominent people can give a guarantee to the agreement, to ensure that, the mishaps in 2016 to now does not happen. I believe that if we have injected some of those things into the agreement, we'll be able to, make it strong enough so that even if you become incumbent for 5 years, you will be immune to the reforms that are necessary. Because unless these reforms are taking place, for example, the absolute majority principle and the term limit, these are key issues in the African election charter. And if we attain that, then we will not be talking about a coalition by now. It's not easy to tell Mr. Gai to come and join you when it comes to an election, or Touray to join Gai in an election coalition. We should lead. But if there is a first round, and then Gai happens to be, going for the second round, it will be very easy for Touray to say, well, I'm not going for it, so why don't I just support him? And then all that will be there is that, little negotiation as to how you will fit in my government when I take over. That's the easiest for a country. But unfortunately, we still did not attain that in our reform. And I believe that should be key reform agenda, in addition to the legal reforms and other constitutional things that we are talking about. And the electoral reform, of course. Like I said also with the elections, I believe that we should have another layer. Another sort of commission or agency that will monitor the IEC and monitor all the political parties and be able to take steps, in case of breaches. I think if we include all these things there and people understand what we are up to, it can make a big difference.
But of course, we will have to rely on good faith of the leader.
Of course.
To still abide by.
Yeah. Good faith is very important.
Isn't that the problem, Biran? Because we are relying on good faith, and we are relying on good faith in a situation where we have a history, and the history is of distrust right now, 2016 experience.
I think it's a very interesting perspective because, in my opinion, I believe like whatever you do before a coalition comes to power is just an abstract.
Yeah.
It does not hold. And therefore, they are only effective in terms of changing leaders. And what comes next is that people will always prioritize where they belong to.
Yeah.
Or if they don't have a belonging, they try to consolidate themselves, like what President Barrow have done, and like what Jomai Faye has also done. So political parties who have experience through coalition building will really take their time to avoid making such mistakes again. And that's why these suspicions and disagreements will always exist as far as coalition building is concerned.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that Italy wins the election. He's not going to prioritize Unite, because Unite is a registered political party.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee also that, if UDP lets any arrangement also, they're not going to prioritize their own political party. And that's where the distrust comes from, because people don't really know what will come next. I mean, it is easily predictable what they might do, which shouldn't be the case as far as these arrangements are also concerned. But as far as also coalition building in the Gambia is concerned, I think it is looking very gloomy. The oppositions are in a very, very
What would you
right
predict,
now.
just finally, what would you predict would be the outcome? What would be the likelier situation?
Like, it's very simple. A united opposition really stand a chance
In
of
defeating the
winning.
president.
Yes, easily, in fact.
And a
United
divided
opposition.
one might
Yes,
find it.
but the
might
problem
struggle.
is-
But
the
do you
problem
not
is-
still think that, why do you still think that a divided opposition, one candidate cannot just wrestle down Barrow?
One candidate. Because of history of our electoral system and how things have been, knowing the might and power of incumbent political parties as well, and also based on analysis from past electoral results as well. Things do not just happen overnight. I mean, we can live in a utopian world having a utopian view or a utopian mindset, but also the numbers are numbers, and history is history. Facts are also facts. So all of these issues need to be put into perspective, but also miracles can happen as well. And in terms of coalition building also, I believe that as far as the different political godfathers are alive and active within the coalition building, never expect to see a united opposition.
And the godfathers, you mean
the
the pre-2016 bigwigs?
Exactly. As far as they're still there, even Talib is a godfather now. He has elevated
Talib
to a
is
godfather.
just post-2016 young man. I mean,
yes, but now
Talib
he's leading
was
a
made
coalition.
right in front of me.
Right now he's leading a coalition. So the only way a coalition can succeed is to have the likes of Adama Barrow, like those who have no interest in politics, were allowed to lead. He mentioned about egos, the ego of these godfathers from the various political parties, be it UDP, be it UMC, be it DOI, be it other political parties. They won't allow each other to lead as far as this coalition.
I think DOI has come up with a compromise, no?
No,
You guys have said,
like I told
you
you,
guys have said you are.
Our concern is not necessarily leading. Our concern is the program.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? He's raised those suspicions, but I believe that if the Gambian people are involved, we must not underrate our people.
Yeah.
But you must give them a platform to do that.
We know that our people have been where they were, but as we go, we know that we are building them up. If we hear Guy talking here, a young man analyzing, you know that he's going to another level.
Yeah.
So I'm not underrating our people. I believe that if we do our homework and then the people are involved, they can restrain a leader from certain things, from certain actions. So for me, that is my position. If you look at the situation in Gambia, you see things like, for example, the Gala movement.
Yeah.
If the Gala movement moves and becomes stronger,
they
could restrain a government from doing a lot of
And they did many times.
And they did many times. So, and that needs to continue. The civil society needs to be empowered so that those things can be addressed. So, for me, that is my position. Let's look forward. For me, I'm optimistic.
Optimistic, yes.
Let's look forward. Let's give impetus to our people. Let's give them the hope, that they can change their destiny. And as long as that is the case, you will have always a biriba, a big Rasulullah. Yeah. But one day, somebody will come and fall him. Fall him in that. So,
and would you say Barrow is much more in a stronger position than Jammeh was in 2016?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think,
so either.
Jammeh at the time was difficult to defeat.
Yeah.
Because of the intimidation, the coercion. He does not, all these chiefs and alcalos and, all those who are in government, they are not come and say, I am into opposition or speak anything of dissent. So he was that person, you understand? And then it was difficult to defeat him because even to campaign. I'll tell you, when we are doing the coalition campaign, I used to have some opposition people among us who are part and parcel of this thing. They run away from some communities.
Yes.
Because they will say, we found the APRC there. Here, if we have meeting in this place, they will kill us. They will do this. They will, So you see that you go to this community, they will not come. They will stand somewhere and wait until the meeting is done, then you will move with them. So, at that time, people were fearful. And I think it is out of that fear also helped, the Gambian people to say, hey, look, to come out of this fear, let's do something about it.
And would you not say also, because for the first time in the history of this country, we have a president who has National Assembly divided. He hasn't win absolute majority there, like all the previous presidents do. Local government, he always divides them. Every other election, he says it, except the presidency. He's also the weakest president we've had, politically.
So I agree with that. But like I said, most of the decisions that are taking place in that assembly, through simple majority. We've not gone through any intent clause so far. That's not the ones we have gone to. That's the constitution. It could not go because the support of the opposition is necessary, and that was not forthcoming during that period. So now to have a president who will have what we are talking about, absolute majority in that parliament, will not be easy, It will not, for me, from my own perspective.
And that's a
that
good
will
thing.
not be-
Finally, just one word.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the timeline for the Team Gambia coalition to conversations?
I'm
You
not,
are not
sure.
sure.
They give us a filler. The team, like Halifa,
Did they reach out to all the parties,
they've
including?
reached out to everybody.
And they reach out
Everybody that mattered.
and they
as
reach
far as
out
I
to
know.
also PDIS.
Yes, they
And
spoke to PDIS. They spoke to PDIS. They spoke to UDP.
So
they
what
spoke
is
to-
the what have they put on the table?
Well, that's what I'm saying. From my own understanding, in the course of the week, it should not pass a week or 10 days when they should call for a national conference.
National press conference.
National conference.
National conference.
Yes, to discuss.
Where
this.
all the parties will be to
would-
discuss.
that really want to play a part would attend.
Do you
And-
think
and a discussion will be taken
finally? Do you think that would be a good start?
Yeah.
Finally, just one word.
I'm really confused because, like, people have set up and established camps already, and have started their
Campaigning.
groundwork and campaigning already. So I don't know how you're really going to redirect their focus and position to whatever team
Team Gambia.
exactly have for themselves. So, but like it's politics, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So let's still be hopeful and see what might work. Miracles
Do happen.
do happen.
They do happen, yes, they do happen. Musa split the seas. All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Biran, for coming by, and Honorable Suwaibou Touray also for coming by.
Thank you
on
very
Verified. I will have to bring you back here because when I'm going to have a program on impasse.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have another program on PDOIS policies, PDOIS at 40, and to look at some of the specific issues, socialism, and then when that happens, then I will have you back here. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming.
very much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, viewers, that's everything we have for you this week. Thank you so much for being there, and from me and iAfrica, have a very good evening. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay.